Well, I'm Kelley Hoskins with Coverings Magazine, and what an exciting day. I have historically the youngest woman to become a rabbi of a large Reformed congregation, Rabbi Amy Feder. Amy, just thank you so much for joining me this morning. Can you just talk about your journey and how you became a rabbi?
Well, I didn't always know that I wanted to be a rabbi, but I grew up at Temple Israel in St. Louis, the same congregation where I'm now serving as the senior rabbi. And I really just loved being involved Jewishly growing up. And then when I went to college, I studied music and Judaic studies. And even though I wasn't always sure that I wanted to be a rabbi, I knew that this was one job where I could do all of the kind of works about which I was most passionate. And so I moved to Israel straight after I graduated from University of Michigan, and it's been pretty amazing every step of the way since then.
Can you just talk about that? It's so amazing, but so many young people or young women may look to you and you're inspiring them. Can you just talk about what a young person can do if they're wanting to go into this area?
Well, I think that being a rabbi requires a lot of different skills, but most importantly, you really just have to love people, and you have to be willing to be with people in their most challenging times. And so I think that for people who want to go into clergy of any kind, it's not just about what you learn, and it's really not so much even about the faith or about God. It's about saying, I want to be able to serve people and understand that when they are at their lowest points or when they're at their highest points, I can be the one to help make that time really sacred for them.
Can you talk about some of the characteristics of your faith?
Well, Judaism, like so many faiths, it preaches justice and mercy and loving kindness to all people. I think that what makes Judaism different from some faiths, one that is very important, is that we don't proselytize. So we believe that if you want to be a Jew, well, you can become one. We certainly do not go out and seek others to join the faith. I also think that what I love most about Judaism is that the word Israel means to be a God wrestler. And so being Jewish means you're constantly asking questions, and there are no questions that are off limits. And I love being able to believe that my faith tells me that if I have doubts in God, or if I have doubts in the teachings of faith, or if I have doubts about my purpose in life, that those are questions I'm supposed to be asking, and I'm supposed to be able to encourage others to participate in dialogue with me about those questions.
Do you recall one of your most memorable messages that you delivered to your congregation here that may have inspired someone that you thought?
Oh gosh, that's a difficult one. I think that the past year has obviously been challenging for a lot of Americans, as we have found just how split we seem to be as a country. And the message that I found myself sharing over and over again, really when the presidential election has happened, but also since then, is there's this beautiful line from the book of Esther. And the book of Esther is about a woman who becomes queen, but she hides who she is. She hides her Jewishness, and she doesn't speak her true values and her true message until there's a point where someone comes to her and says, what if this is the whole reason that you exist? What if you were put into this position just to share what the truth is and to stand up for people who are oppressed and are not treated well? And I think that is the message that I keep trying to share, because I think it relates to all of us, just to feel that however you feel about the state of the country or the state of the world, that this is our time to say, you need to stand up for what you believe in, and you need to actually make a difference and not just sit by and bewail the state of the world and let everything move on.
How fitting, because it seems like you believe that you're in this position to deliver a message to your congregation and inspire them. That's great. As a woman, we all like to wear certain things. What is your favorite thing to wear?
It's very funny. So, when I started as a student rabbi, my parents and my grandparents, and that time even my great-grandmother belonged to the congregation, and so they were always very concerned with, was I wearing pantyhose? Was I wearing the appropriate shoes? But for me, I feel that so much of what makes me comfortable as a rabbi is that I am who I am, and I don't particularly like wearing fancy clothes. I don't particularly like wearing shoes that are going to hurt my feet after a long day, so I like to wear things that are flowy and comfortable and that allow me to move freely and be myself.
And with that, being yourself, we live in a diverse society. What do you suggest on getting along as Americans?
I think the most important thing is truly being able to listen to other people's stories. And I think we've gotten very bad at doing that because particularly through social media, so many of us we're just stuck in our own Facebook feeds. And so we're only hearing the opinions and the voices of others who are like us. And what I've tried very hard to do, and encourage my congregants to do as well, is to actually hear what other people think who think something differently from you. The vast majority of us believe that we are right all the time. I know that I do the same thing, and it's very important to be able to say, and again, particularly in fractious political times, to say, you know what, 50% of our country thinks something differently than I do. I should really find out why they think that way. And not so much so that I can become like them, or even necessarily to find common ground, but to truly just understand there is another side out there, and we'll never be able to come up with any answers unless we actually understand what other people are thinking.
And you're young, you have a lot of ideas. A lot of times people have visions. What is your vision for St. Louis? Where do you see St. Louis going? And what inspires you to talk in terms of that vision?
So I think those two things are very much connected. I think that St. Louisans need to get beyond our own little bubbles of where we went to high school or where we live in the city and actually get out there and see how other people are living and engage in dialogue with other people. Again, not just to find common ground, but to actually understand what are other people thinking and how can we stand in their shoes just for a little while. We're never going to be just like each other. It would be very boring if we were, but we actually have to know what the other people in our community are going through, what they're thinking, so that we can come up with some answers for how to make the city great, which I really think it is. I would never have moved back to St. Louis as an adult and wanted to raise children here if I didn't think that the city was amazing. And I'd like for everyone to feel as proud of it as I do.
You think about when you stand here delivering your message, do you ever think, why me? Why am I in this position?
It's funny. One of the things that makes rabbis and Jewish clergy different, I think, than some other clergy is I've never met a rabbi who said that he or she had a calling. In fact, I think if you went into your rabbinical school interview and said, God called me, that you would never get in the door. So, I don't necessarily believe that God has some sort of special purpose for me. I just think a lot of it is mazel. I think a lot of it is luck, and I ended up in the right place at the right time and with the right skill set and passion to do this. And I know that I'm not irreplaceable, but I'm here now, and I've been able to see the impact that I have had on some of the members of my community and my congregation, and it feels great to think that even if it's just one person at a time, that I'm making people's lives a little easier or helping them find a little bit of sacredness where it wasn't there before. So I don't question much how I ended up here. I just consider myself very lucky to be here, and I hope it lasts for a long time.
I think one last question. If you had someone sitting in your service and they lost all hope, what would you say to them to continue to keep that faith?
I really think that when someone has lost all hope, there's actually not much that you can say. I think the best thing that you can do is just be there and listen to them, because I think the vast majority of us, somewhere inside, we do have that spark of hope. And we just need to be able to let out what it is that we're scared of and why we feel so hopeless, and knowing that someone is by your side and isn't telling you everything is going to be okay or things aren't as bad as they seem. I think just being able to sit here and listen to someone's story and hold their hand and sit by their side, that in some ways makes more of a difference than anything you could ever say.
And with a beautiful message that you deliver, I want to thank you for joining us, but I'm told that you also have a beautiful voice, and so we want to see if you would leave us and gift us with a song.
Sure. So one of the things that I love about being able to bring music to what I do is that sometimes I find that music can fill the gap where nothing else does. And so when I was first in rabbinical school and I was working in a hospital and praying with people, and I never knew the right words to say, and I never knew exactly what I was supposed to be offering up to them or to God, but I found that if I ended the prayer with a little bit of song, that somehow it seemed to work. So the song is taken from a much longer song by a woman, Debbie Friedman, of blessed memory, and it goes like this. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you.
Beautiful. I want to thank you so much for joining us here for Coverings Magazine. Very beautiful voice and a beautiful person. Thank you so much. Until next time, I'm Kelley Hoskins with Coverings Magazine.